Take a look at this fine play by Antoine. Walker takes it, makes it, and Antoine right into the stroke. And I'm telling you, he can wiggle and wiggle after something like that. Now Antoine Walker has easy lay in there. Here's Walker with a great spin job. Just here comes Antoine. Antoine spins, got it. So Antoine is giving it his best. There's his numbers. They get it to Antoine at half court. Antoine breaks it home for the game. 4/10 of a second on the clock.
You are listening to the Southside Heat radio show. Southside Heat streams live every Thursday from 2 to 4 p.m. Central on www.q4.org, iTunes Radio, and the TuneIn app. I am Clement Townsend in the building as always with Antoine Walker, NCAA champion with Kentucky and NBA champion with the Miami Heat. We got a big time show for you. We got a special guest in the house that we'll introduce in just a few moments. Also, the NBA MVP odds are out. We're going to talk about some of the best basketball players ever in Chicago history. We'll get Antoine's starting five from the top basketball players to ever grace the Windy City. And then a few other things as well, like Bruce Bowen getting fired from his commentary job. But Antoine, I do want to start off with a little RIP. You know, normally we don't tend to go there, but a legend in terms of a songstress passed away, Aretha Franklin, at the age of 76. Queen of Soul, first woman inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, 18-time Grammy winner. I know we don't normally do that, but she was just a legend, one of the greatest to ever, you know, sing and do it. So definitely want to say R.I.P. and send thoughts and prayers out to her family.
Yeah, without question, obviously. The one thing that kind of stood out, and just looking at social media and people talking and tweeting about it, the one thing that kind of stood out to me was that the genres of music that she sung. You know, from gospel to R&B. You see, she went to Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. I think that's what stood out. So people probably didn't give her the credit until, you know, obviously she passed away. That you kind of Google and go to the record, go to the books and see what, all her accomplishments. So, you know, obviously rest in peace to her and her family. We lost a great one today.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people think about the R-E-S-P-E-C-T and
Otis Redding, man. She went at Otis Redding on that song, yeah. I don't know if you know your history on that, though, Clement. That's what I'm saying.
Nah, you schooled me on that one. You schooled me on that one. But I did hear her say it wasn't just about women, though. It was about everybody. You know, everybody wants respect. Everybody needs a little R-E-S-P-E-C-T.
Yeah, I mean, I ain't as big as you. I mean, you big on that. You want respect like that.
You want to respect when you was on the court? Like, what you talking about?
I earned my respect.
Oh, no doubt. No doubt.
You got to earn it.
That is true. Expect is not to be given. Respect is not to be given. They say it is to be earned.
Yeah, we lost a great one today. You know, it's crazy. On the way over here, I was in the Uber on the way over here, and they were playing on the radio. I don't think the driver just picked it. It was just the radio.
Right.
But they were talking about Aretha Franklin playing her music and the songs, the hits that she has. You like, hey, you don't think about it sometimes until they gone.
Sometimes you forget about all the hits they had. That is for sure. Well, you know, the way we kick off the show normally, before we get into all the hot basketball topics, we like to jog your memory. And we like to kick it off with Name That Teammate. It's the summer, so what better way than to see how much you remember about your former teammates. Last week, you got it in 3 for 3 last week.
Yeah, I got it in last week. We'll see what happened this week. I don't know.
So
you can't be picking the G League players, guys that play 10-day contracts, 2 contracts. I got to go some guys with some history behind themselves.
All right, we started off with a guy, 99 NBA draft, drafted in 99.
Lockout year, okay.
18th overall pick. And I think when I tell you the college, you'll get it. Out of Xavier.
It's got to be James Posey.
Got to be James Posey. I knew you was going to get when I said the college. You played with him both your years in Miami. Certainly the first year you all won the title. He was on that team as well. What do you have for us? You always give us a little behind the scenes about guys you play with. What type of guys? Yeah.
Posey's my man. That's my running buddy.
Okay.
That was my in Miami. That was my party buddy.
When y'all used to hang out, he would be the guy.
Yeah, that was one of my party buddies. So
okay.
We got it in tough. But now, basketball-wise, though, very underrated defender of all time, defensive player. I think, we got to start putting him. He never won defensive player of the year. But I put him in that category with the Bruce Bowens of the world.
Wow.
That's how good he was defensively for us and has been throughout his career. And the 2 championships he won, the one he won in Boston too.
Yep.
He was a big glue guy for them as well. And the sneaky, timely 3-point shooter too. So I got nothing but love for Pose.
Yeah, basketball is cool, but I want to hear more about Miami. He was like your wingman. He would kind of like, run interference. He would be the one that kind of help you all have company in the VIP. That's what I want to know. Did he help y'all have company in the VIP?
Why are you digging into that? I just told you that was my wingman with me when I went out.
Because this is the Southside. It's not a lot of basketball to talk about. So, people want to know what was it like in the MIA, South Beach.
We had a good time. me, Posey, and the Patron had a good time.
Okay,
like
okay.
But that was my guy. That was my guy I hung out with a lot off the court. And got to know him really, really well. We're still good friends now. He's doing his thing now with the Cleveland Cavaliers. For people that don't know, he is an assistant coach. He's moved to the bench this year with T. Lou. I don't know if you watched the Summer League. But
he was the head coach.
He was the head coach of the Summer League.
Absolutely.
And he did a terrific job. I think they got to the championship game. Did they lose the championship game? Or in the Final Four? Something
like, maybe like the Final Four. Because I remember Portland won the title in the Summer League. That I remember.
Yeah, he did a terrific job. He's got good things going. But yeah, that's my guy.
1 for 1 on Name That Teammate. We keep it rolling, and we stay with somebody you play with in Miami. 2003 draft, 2nd round guy.
Wow.
31st overall in the 2nd round. And once again, college should do it for you. UCLA.
Jason Capono.
Jason Capono. Look at Antoine. See there? I'm hooking you up. We 2 for 2.
The college.
I knew the college would. Again, he was there 2 years. He was on the title team. I know, you mix and mingle with different races. I don't know if he was your wingman and everything like that.
Nah, he wasn't my wingman.
But still,
Jason was cool.
He was cool.
Yeah, Jason was knockdown shooter.
Yeah.
Steve Kerr, John Paxson type of guy. Kyle Korver.
I don't know if we want to put him in that category.
Yeah, Kyle Korver did a little bit more moving than him. But no, he can knock it down with the best of them.
Okay, all right.
I put him in there. Dan Marley.
Thunder Dan. You taking it back with Thunder Dan right there.
Yeah, he was there.
Okay, all right. 2 for 2. Can we get 3 for 3? Second week in a row.
I'm trying. Let me see.
Now, this one has to be a little bit more difficult because it's the final one. I just can't let you off easy like that. Here we go. 2005 draft. I think this is easy. I think you should get this. 18th pick out of high school. So just like when it was Purvis Ellison, the number 1
What
pick.
team was I on? What team did you play with me at?
You were on...
The Heat?
Minnesota. Minnesota.
Al Jefferson?
Nope.
Said out of high school, right?
Out of high school.
Gerald Green?
Gerald Green. I knew out of high school would get it. He only played maybe 30 games that year and got traded to Houston that year. But certainly did, you all cross paths in Minnesota.
Minnesota, you're all right. Did play with Gerald Green. But I played with Al Jefferson too in Minnesota.
He was on that team.
That's
he was on that team.
That.
Yep. But do you remember Gerald Green and all? Because this is around the time when he was throwing it down on folks. The year before, in 07, was when he won a dunk contest. 08 was when he had the birthday cake dunked. If you remember that, he blew out the candles in 08. That's when he was on Minnesota.
Gerald is an interesting guy.
Okay.
From Houston.
Absolutely.
It's tough because I only spent like half the season. He did get moved, but what I can basketball-wise, a lot of potential.
Right.
A lot of potential. Jump out the gym.
Woo-wee. Will he do stuff in practice?
Yeah, I was there he was still on the team,
okay.
Actually, when he was preparing for the dunk contest.
Okay.
So I got to see all those dunks in person. Yeah, he up there. He one of the top guys.
when you talk about guys with bounce, I'm really going to jog your memory. And congratulations, man. You went 3 for 3, man. Gerald Green, Jason Capono, and James Pope.
That's 2 weeks in a row.
That's 2 weeks in a row. I'm going to have to make it a little bit harder. That's what I'm going to have to do.
That's 2 weeks in a row.
I don't want to just give you layups. But when you talk about guys with bounce that you actually play with, whether it was high school, whether it was Kentucky, or just open it up. I don't know, because when I'm thinking just guys with Gerald Green, man, whew.
He up there, and guys I played with. Did I play with some some jumpers? Let me see. You remember Kedrick Brown?
I don't even remember him. He was in the league?
Yeah, he's a lottery pick.
Lottery pick, Kedrick
With
Brown.
the Celtics.
Ooh,
He was one of the highest jumping guys I played with. Yeah, you can Google him. I think he came out of high school too. Kedrick Brown. In Boston, probably the highest jumping guy that I played with.
Is in the league for a few years, 02 to 05?
Yeah. You got some, I don't know how many highlights you got, but.
I had to check him out on YouTube,
Yeah.
But he was a guy.
But Gerald Green was one of the highest jumping guys I played with, yeah. But I think Kedrick Brown jumped higher than Gerald Green.
Okay.
You probably like how, because you've been in the dunk contest, you ain't heard about him. But he was a lottery pick. What, he went like 11?
11,
Yeah.
2001. He went to a community college.
I told you. That was high school or something like that.
Okaloosa Walton Community College.
Yeah.
5 years in the NBA. That's all he got. He could jump out the gym, but must not have too much other game. Couldn't necessarily shoot the J, huh?
You know what? I take that back. Let me stop messing around. The highest jumping guy I ever played with was Josh Smith.
Let me stop out of high school again.
Yes,
another
Josh
guy
Smith.
out of high school.
Josh Smith was the highest jumping guy.
When you were in Atlanta, he was
there? Sir. He was my rookie. Him, Josh Childress,
Okay.
Dante Smith, they was my rookies.
Okay.
But Josh Smith was the highest jumping guy I played with.
Lefty.
Yeah.
He's a bringer. Jay Smooth.
Yeah. Yes. He won a dunk contest too though.
You sure?
Well, he won a Dominique jersey. Remember he switched the jersey, put the Dominique on?
You might be right. I had to Google him real quick.
He put the Dominique jersey on?
I remember him being in the contest. I just didn't necessarily remember if he actually won dunk contests. But we will check on that, though. We will check on that. I'm not saying that you're incorrect. I'm just saying I don't remember if he was actually I don't personally remember. Let me see if we do a quick internet search. Sometimes the internet failed me on the speed in terms of how fast we need to know information. But he had bounce, though. I definitely remember him. Hands down. You right, 2005. You the man. NBA Slam Dunk Contest champion, 2005.
Yeah.
I remember his bounce. It was off the charts.
So them the top 3 guys I played with.
Kedrick, Josh, and Gerald Green. No particular order.
But now Josh Smith number 1.
Number 1. Period.
Yeah.
Guys.
Then Kedrick, then Gerald Green.
Okay. All right. Well, let's turn our attention now to the hardwood. It is the Southside Heat, and we do like to talk NBA. It is the off season. However, the MVP odds have been announced for this upcoming season, and it's no real surprise that the number 1 pick in terms of odds happens to be LeBron James. Also, when you look at some of the rest of the folks on the list for MVP odds in terms of the top 5, Anthony Davis, LeBron 10-3, Anthony Davis 4-1, Giannis 9-2, Harden and Kevin Durant round out the top 5. Now, when you look at the list, for some reason they have DeMarcus Cousins on the list, 150-1. Kristaps Porzingis is on the list, 275-1. And if you just want to blow some money, Lonzo Ball is on the list with MVP odds 450-1. Not really sure why they would even be on the list, Antoine.
You just named 3 guys that are injured. That may not even start the season off. They may miss a couple months of the beginning of the season. So you can't look into that.
Maybe LeVar probably put some money on Lonzo. You know how crazy he is.
Yeah, we could get into that. Did you see what his father said the other day?
Nah, I didn't.
Yeah.
Okay, we say that for later.
Yeah, he's still out there.
I'm not surprised.
Yeah, he's still out there. I got those comments for you later. This is gonna be a tough year for MVP. When I saw this, I started looking at that list. This will be a little different. I think LeBron. I do think they got it right with LeBron James being the number 1 guy. He's gonna be the favorite to win MVP. And the reason why I say that is that you got to think about how they kind of picked the MVP. 1, they had 35 wins last year. I'm putting at least 10 to 15 more wins on the Lakers. And if they get to 50 wins, We know that's going to be because LeBron James is playing out of his mind. So they get the 50 wins. In order for them to get the 50 wins, he's going to probably have to put up similar numbers that he put up last year, that he could have easily been the MVP with his career numbers that he put up last year. So they got to put that in perspective. And he's in L.A.
That makes a difference.
It makes a big difference. So everything's in LeBron's favor to win another MVP award. And then after that, it's so hard. I mean, Golden State, it's hard to separate those guys, especially during the season. So, you know, Kevin Durant and Steph Curry kind of wash each other out. James Harden, I don't think people are going to – I think James Harden now –
He got his.
Yeah, and I think he's had so many great regular seasons that people now want to see James Harden do it in the playoffs, throughout the whole playoffs. We know he's had good games, but he's going to have to do it. They was up 3-2. He had a chance to beat Golden State, two huge leads in the first half, and he wasn't able to pull that off. So James Harden is going to be out the equation. And then after that, you got to look in the East, man. I think you got to look at Giannis to see what they do in Milwaukee. Obviously, it'd be hard-pressed to say Kawhi Leonard coming off the injury that he had. Can he come back and he'll have a fair shot to be able to do that? But Toronto won 59 games last year, so what's going to be the improvement in the season that's going to make them feel like that? Yeah,
if they win 55 less wins and the number one seed, then would he be the MVP? Yeah, that's interesting.
You go over to Westbrook and Paul George. I don't think they're up again unless they win total goals to 65. And then you may look on that team. If they can get to 60 wins, 60-65, then you start to look at Westbrook again. So I think LeBron James is the favorite easily if they team get to 50 wins.
What about if you just wanted to throw a Benjamin out there? You know, a long shot. I'm looking at John Wall, 80-1. I'm looking at Blake Griffin, 225-1. Who is a long shot? You know, if you just wanted to, you know, a lotto play per se.
Ooh, I'm gonna go out west, man, and I'm gonna go to Damian Lillard.
Damian Lillard, I'm not mad at that.
And I'm gonna go out west.
45-1. I see you, Damian.
Yeah, I'm gonna go out there, Damian Lillard. Have a chip on his shoulder. Can't get a big time free agent to come play with him. He happy in his place, so. Finally got off that all-star bug last year, so we'll see. I like Damon. They were 3 seed last year in the Western Conference.
What about Victor Oladipo going MVP status 100-1? Just throwing him some dollars out there. We talking long shots. We talking something that's, you know, a slim chance of happening. But Oladipo just continuing to get better. We know that the East, you know, it's pretty much wide open. We've talked about it before. Toronto, Philly, Boston, however you want to put it. But what if Indiana, last year they kind of showed everybody, give us some respect. Went to 7 games in the first round with Cleveland. But what
That's
if they...
not bad. He averaged 23 last year.
Right. Like, what if he's averaging like 25, 26 now, and the team continues to gel? Long shot?
Yeah, it's a good long shot. Because if he gets to 25, 26, they get to 50, 55 wins, top 3 seed in the East. I like that. And then we got also, I mean, the thing that we can't, you know, obviously we got, well, right now I think we both had the same, when we talked about this last, we both got Boston being the best team in the East.
Right.
When you look at Boston roster, you just kind of think those guys are going to cancel each other out.
Right, because they got Kyrie on there, they got Jason Tatum on there.
Remember, I think about Kyrie came out like gangbusters last year.
Yeah. The
first 2.5 months, he was the favorite for MVP.
Hands down.
So I just don't, with that team being as balanced as they is, Victor Oladipo do got a shot.
Yeah, because they had Kyrie on here 16-1, Gordon Hayward 150-1, Jason Tatum 175-1. How you separate yourself when all those guys are on the team?
I think, but if I got my top 2 guys would be LeBron and Giannis.
Okay.
And I just think those guys have the easier chance to get MVP, even though I know it's not easy to be the MVP.
Yeah.
But their win total will play such a huge part. If Giannis is now able to take that step and get his team to 50 wins, be a higher seed, you know, they've been the 7th, 8th seed, you know, when they made the playoffs. So if he can take it to that next level, I think he'll be in consideration a lot.
And, I mean, he averaged 27-10 last year, so he had a monster season.
And, you know, don't forget about Anthony Davis down now.
Oh, yeah,
Davis down there, too, now.
Oh, no.
We've been calling that he's going to win the MVP award sooner or later. But I think
for many years.
Yeah, but I think they lost a lot. I mean, jury's still out, but I thought losing Rondo and Cousins stepped him back a little bit. So we'll see if he's able to take care of business on his own. Well, he's not on his own. He got Holiday and some other guys over there. But Anthony Davis, let's not forget about him.
No. They got Nico over there that can still put up some buckets when he left the Chicago Bulls. So they should be in the mix in the West, certainly contending for a playoff spot. Would you throw a couple dollars in on an MVP bet though?
If I had to, I mean, I'm rolling with LeBron and Giannis. I would probably them two, and then if you had to give me a sleeper, I'm going with Dame Lillard.
Okay, all right. How about Bruce Bowen being fired by Fox Sports West? He was an analyst for the Clippers broadcast for making some negative comments about Kawhi. Here's what he said to Sirius or on Sirius XM radio. I think there's nothing but excuses going on. First, it was, well, I was misdiagnosed. Look here, you got $18 million this year, and you think that they're trying to rush you. You didn't play for the most part a full season this year, and you're the go-to guy. You're the franchise, and you want to say that they didn't have your best interests at heart? Are you kidding me? I think he's getting bad advice. So because of those comments, and it seems like the Clippers want to be in a sweepstakes when Kawhi, particularly because of free agent, they decided to fire Bruce Bowen. We know Bruce Bowen, a legendary Spurs player. I'm pretty sure his number is retired by the San Antonio organization. That seems a bit drastic to me. The fact that this guy on Sirius XM works for the Clippers and can't even criticize somebody on San Antonio, that seems like the Clippers doing a little bit too much, taking it a little bit too far, in my opinion.
That's the tough part, you know, in the business that we in. I mean, when you work for, you know, certain teams or organizations, you work for certain stations, you know, you got to toe the line to a certain degree. And I understand where he was coming from as far as criticizing. Now, I think that was his personal opinion. I mean, obviously, I mean, we know he has alliance to San Antonio, and you know, San Antonio's been a great place for him, championships, and I know he's, like you said, his jersey's probably going to go in the rafters there, if not already. It's not in the rafters, I don't think.
I think so. We keep going. I'll check it out.
But no, I believe that the Clippers are doing what you got to do to clear house. I mean, to make sure. I mean, those were very strong comments. Kawhi, we don't know if he's a sensitive guy. It seems like he is sensitive when you think about the Tony Parker situation when the other veteran guys kind of went at him when he was sitting out. He kind of brought that up and said that was one of the deciding factors why he was ready to leave. And it's just so hard with Kawhi because he doesn't talk. He don't really say much, so it's kind of hard to see if those type of comments is going to play a big part in this decision. It's unfortunate. I know Bruce Bowen was probably just giving his honest opinion about it. It probably was a little bit more heartfelt because it's the San Antonio Spurs and he wants the Spurs to be good and everything. So people gotta also know this too. This guy played for the organization. He knows the medical staff. He knows everybody that's involved in there. So he has a different insight on it. So I mean, he's probably speaking from what he really felt, that believed to be the truth, that Kawhi Leonard laid down on the Spurs.
His jersey is retired by the Spurs. He had retired several years ago. He actually allowed it to come out of retirement for LaMarcus Aldridge to wear his number 12.
Okay, that's what it is.
Yep.
All right.
But the Clippers, I guess, are trying to show Kawhi
but also they've cleaned house a little bit more too. I mean, some other moves have been made.
Okay, not just this.
Not just Bruce Bowen, but it has been some other moves made. They're doing a lot of hiring and firing and reorganizing their organization.
As a player, though, just put yourself in Kawhi's shoes. Would that make you consider them more because it seems like the organization has your back before you get there? Or would that even, factor into your decision making? Like the Clippers doing this, like, okay, we just want to show Kawhi that if you were to come here, we wouldn't let people belittle you in the media. We're trying to make a good impression so you can consider us a little bit more. Like that wouldn't work. That's the Clippers.
No, man, maybe I don't watch a lot of Clippers games. I can't say that I played with Bruce Bowen. I seen him come from the work ethic, come from a player that can not throw it in the ocean to be able to make it in the corner three, to be a defensive player. So I seen his career grow. So maybe he wasn't that good. I mean, we're trying to blame it on that, but maybe they wanted to change. Maybe they didn't like the ratings they were getting. Maybe the fan base was listening to him, didn't like his commentary. Nobody ever talked about that. Maybe they didn't like it. Maybe it just wasn't about his comments about Kawhi. And people just trying to make it out to be that way. You know this, Clement, in this business, everybody, they get hired and fired every day. And maybe he wasn't doing a good job. Like I said, I wasn't watching enough Clipper games on local television, their local broadcast to know if he was doing a good job or not. But I played, when I played in Boston, Tommy Heinsohn was the biggest homer you ever wanted to get. I mean, the Celtics couldn't do no wrong. I couldn't do no wrong.
Yeah.
When he does a game, but the fan base like that. So it just depends. It could be more to it. I just can't see it. I'm with you. I can't see them just firing him because of the Kawhi Leonard comments.
Bruce Bowen has said that was the reason, though. He did go on a Dan Patrick show, and he did say that the Clippers
said that.
He said the Clippers relieved him of his analyst role because of his critical comments. That's something new that came out in the last day or so that he confirmed that in an interview. Bruce Bowen did, so.
Well, if that's the case, then Bruce. You gotta watch what you say, man. You gotta keep your job intact, man.
You gotta take it easy. But you know what though? He could probably always find a job with the Spurs or something like that as a consultant. You know how it is.
Well, Pop them take care of their guys. He'd definitely be back.
They create a position for him.
But he probably don't want to live in San Antonio.
What's wrong with San Antonio?
Well, he in L.A. He took the L.A. Clipper job. He lived in L.A. despite having wanted to live in L.A.
Okay. Is there anything wrong with Cleveland? I just threw that out because you said he probably wanted to live in San Antonio, so I just put Cleveland on the table. Because it was Isaiah Thomas, he was on IG recently. I don't know if you saw this.
No.
He was on IG Live and was just, shooting the breeze, talking, and was saying that Cleveland is a shithole. He was like, I see why LeBron left again. And people came at him for, getting on Cleveland and everything, and he had to come out later. He didn't have to. But I guess the blowback was so hard that later, the same day, he went on IG and was like, man, I didn't really mean that. It ain't nothing wrong with Cleveland. Cleveland is cool. I was just joking around. And then I remember Joe Kim Noah back in the day came hard on Cleveland.
Well, that's what they talked about. So, I mean, it's different. Every player is different. When you go to a city, and obviously, I like to be in a sports town.
Okay.
If I have my choice, I want to be in a sports town where the fans are very knowledgeable. They understand the game. They're going to come out and support you. I mean, we won 15 games my rookie year, but we still was selling out because fans there are loyal. They will come out and support. That's the type of city I want to live in. Cleveland, same way. That's a loyal sports fans. They look at the Cleveland Browns. They haven't had a good. I'm serious. They haven't had a good football team, but they're going to pack. They're going to be packed.
They didn't even win a game.
Yeah.
They did not win a game.
And I think, for a lot of guys, they look at the nightlife, the restaurants, things to do when they critique a city and get away from why they're in the city. You're in the city to play basketball. You ain't in the city to go to the nice restaurants. You ain't in the city to go to the clubs. You're in the city to play basketball. So if the basketball aspect of things are right, I'm happy. But I think guys make comments and criticize certain cities because Cleveland don't have a great nightlife. Cleveland don't have a ton of great restaurants there. I'm sure they got the national chains, but it's not known. You don't say let's go to Cleveland because they got great food. So those type of things. So I can see why Isaiah Thomas said that. It's not like you go to Cleveland, they got some of the most beautiful women in the world. No disrespect to the Ohio women. No disrespect to the Ohio women, but there's not like a place where you like, oh, they got the best looking women in the world. You don't think of Cleveland as that place. And that's how guys basically judge cities.
I'm going to tell you right now, I'm putting that on social media, right? I'm putting that on social media. Yeah. Cleveland doesn't have the best looking women in the world.
I mean, they're not known for that. You know what I'm saying? So that's what players are making their comments based off the restaurants, things to do.
Right.
The women, like the entertainment aspect of it. For me, I'm more trying to base my opinion off of, is this a sports town, it's a basketball city? Are they going to get behind what I'm doing on the court and off the court?
So Minnesota?
I don't, Minnesota's basketball has been so bad. Obviously.
When it was with you, when you were there?
Oh, it was horrible. I think we won. I don't know if we won double-digit wins. I don't know why you keep bringing back these bad numbers.
I just wanted to know when you're talking about towns that you were in and places that.
Oh, Minnesota. I'm from Chicago, and the winter doesn't bother me.
Okay.
They wouldn't bother me.
It's just that cold.
Yeah, it's just that cold. You get out the plane at 2, 3 in the morning, it's minus 15, and you trying to get to your car. It's rough, man.
And plus, you went to Minnesota 2 years after Miami, right? That's how. That's
yeah,
like,
well, right. Yeah, I came right after.
Right, you in Miami for 2 years. Then you going to Minnesota. That's a huge climate change. That's a difference.
Yeah, I had to walk through the buildings. It was so cold there. You got to walk through the buildings. You can't even walk outside. You can walk through you can literally walk through the buildings. I don't know if you ever been to Minnesota.
I've never
been
been
like from
Minnesota.
building to building.
Yeah, you can.
All inside.
You can walk walk building to building downtown. You don't have to go outside.
Okay, that's smart.
That's cool.
It's a lot of walking, but you can walk through the buildings. That's how cold it is in Minnesota. Unbelievable.
That is unbelievable.
Man, listen.
It's like that.
Get you something to eat, go on back inside, baby.
Period. And
They say it's great there in the summer. I never spent the summer there. They say the lakes are great, but judging from them 7 months or 8 months I was there, God, I wouldn't go back.
nothing nice there.
No,
Nothing nice
I wouldn't want to play there if we was judging it off the weather.
We got so much more to get to on the South Side. He's still to come. We have Kyle Parker in the building. He will be talking about his new app, also his basketball career as he gets ready to head overseas. Stay with us. Southside Heat coming right back.
He done get all of us in trouble about Cleveland.
Well, you sound like Joe Kim Noah over there.
It's the summertime.
Oh, no. Right here.
3 minutes, 2:35, please.
Let's get to it, big guy. When you leave? When you leave? Monday.
Man.
Wow.
Talk about
They been working out at.
I usually work at the Jordan Center or Lake Shore. I just got back from Quest.
Oh, man. Who won Quest? What's his name?
I'm not sure. I was with Basil.
Oh, you work at Basil. You work at Basil all summer?
Yeah.
I like Basil.
Yeah. You know Mike Curtis?
My best friend.
Yeah. That's why I played at Grinnell College.
You play with son?
Yeah. Denny and me.
I should have told you in here. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
That's my family.
Talk about you all the time.
Yeah, that's my family. I gotta tell you in here.
Oh, that worked out right there, huh?
Them boys just score 150 points a game.
Renell?
Him. They did.
Was he on the team with the dude that
That was my roommate. Yeah.
for real? What's his name?
Jack Taylor.
And how much he dropped? 100?
138.
He dropped 138?
My senior year, he dropped 101 the first game and 98 the second.
Oh man, I'm glad you said that. I knew Grinnell sounded familiar. I'm like, why did I know that?
I didn't know that. They got to it too.
Southside Heat, Clement Townsend, Antoine Walker. Be sure to follow us on social media. Twan Walker 8 on Instagram. C Townsend TV on Instagram. We share a lot of clips throughout the week. You can comment, And if you have a topic that you want us to discuss, maybe hit us up on social media. We'll see if we can slide you in. Right now, we're pleased to be joined by a special guest, Kyle Parker, a Chicago guy who played his high school ball at University of Chicago, Lab High School, all-area, all-state senior year, led the state in assists and steals in your senior year, went on to Grinnell College to play basketball, averaged 16 points and 3 assists, also went to the University of Rochester, and is soon to begin his career overseas, headed over to Germany. Kyle, we appreciate you stopping by the Southside Heat.
No, thank you for having me. I really appreciate it.
Well, let us start off with Grinnell College, because you were talking with Antoine, and I guess you all have a friend in common, Antoine?
No, my high school coach kids go there.
Okay.
And that's what's crazy. So I followed their career. I obviously didn't know that he was on the team with them. But they can play. They can score. That league, like they used to tell me the stories. I couldn't believe it. Individuals scoring 138 points, 100 points a game. So I was actually shocked. But I did not know you played in high school with them. But my high school coach, Mike Curtis, one of my closest and dear friends, and he'll be excited that we got you on the show today. I did not know. Small world, man. I got to do my research a little better.
Kyle, what was it like playing at Grinnell? You talked about you actually roomed with Jack Taylor, who dropped 138. I mean, you all as a team would be dropping, big time numbers, just lighting up the scoreboard. What was that experience like?
Oh, it's probably the craziest environment that I've ever played in basketball-wise. I remember the first day I got there as a freshman, first practice, our coach told us you need to unlearn everything you know about basketball. And so there was no system, there was there was nothing that you learned about high school basketball that you would bring it over there. It was all shooting threes. There was 2 scorers, probably 2 to 3 scorers per team, who would coach told us you can only shoot threes and layups, no mid-range, no none of that.
That sounds like the Mike D'Antoni way of doing the thing, right?
Yeah, it was really...
It was exciting brand of basketball.
Yeah.
You would literally, there would be bigs who would get the ball right under the rim for a layup, and they would have to kick it right back to me or our other scorer for a 3. And we would have to shoot at least 25 threes a game.
I mean, I'm looking at it. I mean, when Jack scored 138, you all scored 179. I'm assuming you all would score like, what, 120, 130 on the regular.
Yeah,
Jack was your roommate. What was it like when he scored 138? You were on the team then?
Yeah, he's an interesting guy. He's a very, very Christian dude who was about 23 years old when he was a junior or senior in high school, in college, because he had gone through a lot of things with previous to colleges, torn his ACL and transfer and things like that. So he was already an older guy on the college campus, and he already had like a wife and a kid and everything. So he didn't really stay on the campus that much, and he was just like a father figure to most of the guys on the team, really.
Well, let me ask you a question. So my daughter went to University of Chicago.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, and great school. But the reason why she left was because of competition. She had finally got in, I guess it's Club AU volleyball, and she was like, "Dad, I need to move schools if I want to go to Division I school." Right. And what made you stay the whole time at the University of Chicago, being that obviously you were the best player on the team? Did you ever have, I guess this is more a question for Mom. She probably, Mom really didn't want you to move or leave, but did you ever want to leave and go to maybe a school with a little bit more competition? Obviously you picked a great school, you're going to go overseas and play, but you probably had better opportunities playing in more of a basketball-oriented school.
Yeah, so I actually transferred to Lab my junior year from a school out in the suburbs, and I was looking for a school with higher competition. Funny part, but at that time, Lab was actually on the upscale because they just had about 3 or 4 Division I players leave in the last 3 or 4 years. So it was like a D1 kid going to Ivy League schools every year. So that's what I was looking at, and also the league, the conference that we played in was a little higher level that year, and we always played, which I liked, like during the summer leagues or the fall leagues, we was always playing the Simeons and the Whitney Youngs, and so college coaches and things like that would be at those games. So it was a really great experience, and I wouldn't change it for the world, because we also had two Division I players on our team as well. One went to Seton Hall, another one went to Penn University. So the practices is what kept the competition very high, at a high level. So I wouldn't change my teammates for anything in the world at that point, because that's definitely what I needed to raise my game.
We'll talk about what's next for you. You are on the way to Germany to play for the BBC White Devils.
Yeah. Yep. I'm gonna leave on Monday for a 10-hour flight to go over there.
Wow.
And so I'm just planning on just, first of all, staying healthy as I can, and just winning games. That's all it's about over there, especially when you're trying to make it to a higher level overseas. The college, I mean not the college, but the coaches in those different leagues, they look for wins along with numbers. So the first and foremost, I want to win the league, and then I want to obviously contribute to with whatever the coaches want me to do over there, and I know they want me to score, so that's definitely what I want to do.
What do you think it'd be like though, making the adjustment?
Yeah.
You know, professional basketball, a totally unfamiliar place. I'm assuming there's going to be a language barrier.
Yeah.
You know, what do you think? How do you think all that will go?
I think with being a professional athlete, that comes with confidence, and you got to be confident if you want to make it. So I think all the work that I put in over the summers and really for the last 23 years, I just got to use that confidence and move on forward and just let God really take control of everything else that happens. In terms of just the game over there, it's a lot of it like the fear of what you don't know, because the European game is obviously a lot more different than America. They're a lot more based on fundamentals, and so when I get over there, I think it will be a lot more calming experience and just think I'm stressing over here thinking about what it's going to be like. But I think once I get over there, it'll be a lot easier.
It'll be a little different, man. Over there, I mean, I never played overseas, but some friends and stuff. It'll be a challenge for you. Let me take you off. I had to do a little research while you was talking, so I found out a few things about you. So you know, I had to text my people. So they told me to ask you this though. Take you off, have a little fun with you.
Yeah.
They say you have a mean shoe collection.
Oh yeah, for sure, for sure.
Tell us about the shoe collection now. Is it gym shoes?
It's gym shoes. We got all types of shoes. Anything that you can think of. I've been trying to collect it since I was probably 5th, 6th grade.
You got your mom shaking her head.
Yeah. And then the best thing about it though is that I didn't use my mom to buy the shoes. Really, I always saved my money up and tried to do it by myself. So that's why I'm really proud about it.
Okay, so this is now.
What the mean shoe collection? Are we talking like 40 pairs, 50 pairs?
I'll say about around 50, 60.
50, 60 pairs.
And I gave a lot away too, so there's probably a lot more than that. My mom made me give them some away.
Now let me ask you, what type of shoes are these? You a Jordan guy? You Adidas guy? Tell me you're not a Steph Curry guy.
No,
we got a Steph Curry guy. We got a guy.
No Under Armour's around me.
No what?
No Under Armour.
We had a guy that purchased Under Armour. He's in the room. I don't want.
Wow.
It's not me.
Wow.
We got a guy that actually went out and purchased some Under Armour. Steph Curry.
That's bogus.
The first one.
Oh wow.
You know, we know that guy.
The prototype.
He kind of quiet right now. He don't want to chime in on that.
They could be good on the court. I don't know about off the court.
Man, no, I mean, Steph Curry's a good guy to like.
Yeah,
I guess if you like a guy, you go ahead and support Steph. But I just wanted to know, because you're a shoe guy, you got a mean shoe collection.
Yeah.
Was the Honor Steph Curry is one of the ones that you like? But I mean, you answer my question.
I'm more of a definitely Nike and Jordan dude. I love foams. I love the 11s for sure for Jordans. Definitely 12s, and I just got a pair of 14s that I really like. So.
What are you gonna play in?
This year I'm playing just 14s, and I'm a big Kobe dude as well.
So let me ask you this: getting back to basketball in Germany. So now it's gonna be your first year over there. So now? Are you willing to obviously be a European pro, or do you have dreams and aspirations of giving the league a shot? So you have an agent. Are you preparing yourself to do the work that's needed? Come home next year, join summer league, and try to make it to the league?
My focus right now is to stay in Europe. Ever since I was a little kid, I didn't really think about NBA really, because my mom did a great job of just taking me around the world, and I never really got to visit Europe a lot. And I heard a lot of great things, and a lot of great things about basketball over there as well. So I'm focused on getting at higher levels in maybe France, Italy, and things like that. Just traveling the world, and if the summer league opportunity comes, of course I'm going to take it, but my focus right now is just to stay.
So do you have an agent?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay.
Yeah, he's working. He's based in Germany, so that's how I got that deal.
Well, tell us about ClipDart, the app that you have. for, I guess, college students who need haircuts and they can have a barber come to them. I'm always a fan of the entrepreneurs and people that create and things of that nature. Yeah. Tell us a little bit more about that.
So it's an app that offers concierge haircuts to group clientele. And I kind of thought of this idea when I was at Grinnell, and it was in the middle of nowhere in Iowa, so you can imagine what my hair was looking like over there.
Hard to find a reliable barber to get you that line up.
Yeah. I was getting my hair cut by a girl or by my teammates, and it just wasn't looking like I was wearing headbands during the games most of the time to cover up my hairline. And if I did want to get a great haircut, I would have to travel like 45 minutes to Iowa City. And so I thought, why not just have my barber come to me and just cut, and like when I say it's marketed towards college students, mainly marketed towards minority students who can't really find a barber who's adept in cutting their hair in that area. And so I would bring a lot of the barbers from Iowa City down to the black community at my school, and they would give them cuts. So I thought, why not make this easier and just make an app for it? So that's where the idea stemmed from, and also it helps a lot for barbers as well, and for everybody really, because there's a lot of times where you can't find a barber within your area, or you're tired of waiting in line, waiting for appointments and things like that in that nature. And for the barber side, they get to be on their own schedule, and a lot of times the commission is 60 to 40, so they give 40% to the barber shop, and we taking like maybe 2 or 3% commission from them, so they get to keep a lot more. And like I said, they're on their own schedule. And so there's a lot of great things about it behind the scenes, other than just, the barber coming to you at your preferred time, at your preferred destination, that we're looking at as well.
Tell us about the rollout, though. It's supposed to be out towards the end of 2018. Where will it be available? I'm sure, since you're thinking about Iowa, it's probably going to be out there in Iowa. How many barbers do you hope to have connected? Give us a little bit more about the whole plan.
So we targeted around 130 different colleges and universities around the United States who have a high enough level of minority population as well, but they're in a predominantly white university.
Okay.
But around that predominantly white university, there's cities who have barbers who are adept at cutting minorities. And so we targeted around 130. It doesn't matter what size. There's big schools from Syracuse down to little schools like Grinnell College. And so that's what we're targeting right now. And we're looking forward to just finding barbers who are willing to do it.
Okay. Us is, you say us, so who is us?
I have a board. I have a chief technology officer.
Wow.
My mom's part of the board. And myself as the CEO. And we're looking for more people to join the business as well. And we have, obviously, some interns at Rochester right now who are working on marketing as well.
This sounds like a great idea. I know I started off my TV career in San Angelo, Texas, and it wasn't a college town, but they didn't have any barbers that could cut brothers in San Angelo, Texas. And I remember the station had a deal with a lady. She cut the people's hair at the station. So it was, they had like I forgot what you call it when it's the back and forth. They do some advertising and you get the free haircuts. A trade, I think it is what it is. Yeah, like a trade. She cut my hair. My hair was so messed up. She was telling me why she was cutting. Like, I don't cut a lot of brothers' hair. I'm kind of not familiar with this. I need the razor, man. Give me the sharp line with the razor. I don't know. I don't normally use the razor. Well, don't use the razor on me. If you're not familiar with that, don't try me.
It's big cities too. I mean, it's a great idea. I had the same problem in Lexington, Kentucky.
Okay.
The same thing when I went up to Lexington, Kentucky, the same way. You know where I really had a problem at? I played in the D League, Boise, Idaho.
Wow.
Boise, Idaho. Find the bar.
Hard to get a cut. And I know you, Antoine, you're not going to the shop to sit and wait.
No, I got to be first in the check.
Exactly. So when
hands down.
Yeah.
And I would think, though...
But I actually like barbershops, though. So,
do you really?
Yeah, I actually like I like the barbershops, the barbershop talk.
I'm surprised because I would think you would be the guy that would have like the barber come to you like how he's talking? Because you know Brian McFadden, we used to
I got a
work
bald
with.
head, but my barber come to me. He could just come to I used to have him come to the station. Sometimes.
Right,
Yeah,
right,
remember that? I
right.
used to have him come to the station.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Yeah.
So now that's a fantastic idea, Kyle. I mean, I think it has a lot of potential. You know, definitely look forward to seeing it rolling out and growing and things of that nature.
Yeah, that's a great idea.
It should be out on iOS and Android in the next couple of months, so we're looking forward to that.
I'm glad you're not hating on the Android. A lot of people be iPhone snobs. I think Antoine is an iPhone snob too.
I'm an iPhone snob too.
Folks forget about the Android. We like to use apps too. We real people. We use services on the apps and things of that nature. Don't forget about us.
We just like nice pictures.
No doubt. The iPhone camera is
I
legit.
remember this is the same guy that bought Steph Curry.
That's gonna be
That go hand in hand.
That's gonna be a recurring
Wow.
theme throughout this interview. People are gonna keep bringing that back up. That's
Well, he's a shoe guy. I felt like it was open for the, it was open for
Guess what?
discussion.
As we always, I'm a grown man. I feel confident about myself.
Did you get the highs or the lows?
They were low.
Oh, okay, that makes it a lot better.
They were low. I don't have any self-esteem issues. I'm good.
I didn't say that.
I'm okay.
I just listen.
I'm gonna be all right. I'm fine.
He's a Steph Curry fan. There's nothing
No
wrong
doubt.
with that.
No doubt.
There's nothing wrong with get the shoe of your favorite player. You know.
Yeah.
One thing I love about you didn't go to all of you after that first hit.
He let
Let it rest. After it went to social media that his shoe wasn't that good, you ducked the second. But his shoe good now though. I actually like his shoe.
Okay.
I like his shoe now.
I've moved on now. I'm good.
You moved on?
Yeah. I moved on. What can you say to Kyle though as he begins his pro basketball journey, Antoine? Just some words of wisdom you can pass along.
Well, the first thing I would say, and he answered that question for me, is that it's always about your hopes and dreams and your focus, and the fact that he's willing to play, and a lot of people don't like to stay in their lane,
Okay.
and they sometimes young guys get hungry and want to be in the NBA and not understanding that there's only 450 jobs, and there's millions of guys that are trying for that, and so many guys can have great careers and live a terrific life overseas too, and play professional ball for 10, 15 years over there. And like he just said, he'll probably move around because I know the league's over there, and I'm pretty sure he's going to do really, really well, and he'll move up in different leagues in different countries, so he'll have the opportunity. But just to continue to work, the work ethic that's going to be needed. I think right now, I mean, I know you have a business that you're focusing on that, but I think when you're playing and actually focusing on basketball, it's got to be about that, and continually getting better. Especially it's harder over there because I know they would, if you don't produce, they remove the Americans really quickly. So just focus in on it, man. Put the work that's necessary in on it, and it seems like you're headed in the right direction and got the right focus. And NBA for everybody. When you're good enough, they're gonna come get you. Make sure your goals are set, and it seems like they're set in the right way, but. Man, just put the work and effort in that's needed to be the best player possible. And one thing, basketball-wise, every year, you're working with trainers in Basel, and I know all those guys, add something different to your game. So if you can't do a pull-up going right, make sure that next year you're doing that. Like every year, the way good players get better, and me and him talk about this on the air about players, because they was like, well, we should trade for this guy. What's wrong with the guy I just gave 4 years, $60 million to him getting better? We never put the pressure on the guy that's already on the team to get better because guys don't want to add things to their game. So one thing I would say to Vice, every year put something different to your game. If you watch LeBron James right now, he's 15 years to the league, and he scored this year totally different than we ever seen him score because he's added things to his game to get better and better. So that's something to just keep in mind as you continue with your career. But you see, it seems like Clement got everything in the right frame of mind.
Good head on his shoulders.
Yeah.
Intelligent young guy. I'm sure he has a strong work ethic. Kyle, we appreciate you. Best of luck. Where can folks find you and follow you on social media?
You can follow me on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook at KPACO. My nickname is Paco, so that's where everybody calls me. So it's K Paco. Anything that you need.
Is I think about the app and everything is on your social media?
Yeah, so we didn't want to put anything out to the general public until it's on the App Store.
Okay.
But once it's on the App Store, I'm sure you'll see something on my social media about it.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Kyle Parker, best of luck to you in the future. Thanks for hanging with us.
Thank you guys. I appreciate it.
Stay with the Southside Heat. Coming right back.
Thank you.
Cool.
Appreciate it.
Man, good luck,
Thank
bro.
you. I appreciate it.
Man. Be good. You know Curtis.
Picture was that good?
Yeah. That's it. He just hit me. He texted me. It's like asking about the shit.
Mom didn't seem too enthusiastic about the shoe collection.
I'm still thinking about what he said about Cleveland.
You got from Cleveland, now, right? You don't have
no, you scared me now. You from Cleveland? Don't scare me like that now. I know I just didn't pick the wrong city like that.
It's all good fun, all good fun.
Okay. You gonna play the 1 and 2?
Man, dude, every time I get your phone, man, I'm like, I got to switch over, man. Nice. Yeah, can't be so much better.
Good luck to you. No, thank you.
For sure.
Like I said, your stuff is better.
What you doing?
I said Jam, she over there rocking.
Submission to the page is coming. Appreciate it.
I just talked to her before I got the interview.
Okay.
She said she was doing well at Northwestern.
Yeah.
So good luck to her.
She's coming out knee surgery. So
Oh, really?
she had knee surgery this summer. Really? She's good. She playing.
Okay, cool.
I just started probably like 2 weeks in. 2 weeks in practice, so I started playing in the month.
Okay, cool.
She's doing good. I went to all the home games last year. I didn't go to the road games, but I went to all the home games. She played good.
Yeah, I remember she was at the last night yesterday.
Yeah, that's what I said. That's why I was wanting to keep the league.
Yeah. It's different for basketball, a little different.
You get you one right with
We're gonna do all Chicago. Do us one more, please.
This looks crazy because I don't see Jamie Brandon.
Yeah, but them cats ain't like making big in the league. But I remember them became Jamie Brandon, Marcus Liberty.
But it's still like Marcus Liberty.
Yeah. Thank y'all for coming by.
Bobby, you want to walk down with me?
So I guess best Chicago players to play in the league. Because Liberty played in the league.
We got to clarify that.
And for me, it ain't about positions. Like they doing these points. Like it's just your five.
Yeah, people gonna be tripping. When I post that, people gonna think I'm crazy because I ain't got Jamie and Lib and all them on there.
Because I mean, for real, if we talking, I mean, Ronnie Fields, if we just talking about best dudes, like to me, Ronnie gotta be on there.
There's so many guys.
Right.
Paul McPherson.
Yeah. I mean, well, Nazi played a long. Nazi played a long time, but we talk about Bobby. Bobby won.
Nas is Nas, my man. I love him to death. He shouldn't be on this.
But should Bobby be on there in place of him? I mean, Bobby won most improved. He had, you know what I mean, a couple good years.
I don't think when you think of Bobby, you think of him being the best player.
No.
He wasn't even the best player in that class.
Yes. Clement Townsend, Antoine Walker, Southside Heat. Make sure you subscribe to the podcast, iTunes, Stitcher, Google Play, Spotify. We also on YouTube too.
Yeah,
you can watch.
check us out,
You can
YouTube.
watch the behind the scenes. That
Yeah.
is real. So check us out on YouTube. Make sure you follow us on Twitter. That will be Walker Antoine 8 on Twitter. Walker Antoine 8. Clement TV _ CLEMENT TV _ on
Yeah.
Twitter. We back on the program, Southside Heat. It is the summer, and I always like to give credit from where I get ideas. And I saw a post from NBC Sports Chicago, Antoine. It caught my eye.
Yeah.
And they had a post about pick your Chicago-born starting five. Now, they had mainly guys who went on to the NBA, because when you talk about Chicago-born starting five, it's so many legendary guys, bro, you can't even really narrow it down. So they had some of the guys who went to the NBA, of course, D. Rose, Anthony Davis, D. Wade, old school guys like Mark Aguirre, Hershey Hawkins, Isaiah Thomas, Terry Cummins. I remember Terry with the Milwaukee Bucks back in the day. Tim Hardaway, Juwan Howard, yours truly, Antoine Walker, Kendall Gill, Doc Rivers, Corey Maggette, Nick Anderson, Tony Allen, Jabari, Patrick Beverly, Eddie Curry, Nazi Muhammad, and Jaleel Okafor were the guys they had on the list. So immediately you like, man, Jamie Brandon need to be on this list.
Yeah, because when you start thinking Jamie Brandon, Marcus Liberty, is Ben Wilson on there?
Nah, he's not on the list.
See,
and he certainly he was a legend before, you know.
And I always,
I
always argue about Ben. It's always tough because, you know, obviously he never got to reach his full potential and everything. So everybody always put Ben in there, saying Ben one of the best. And obviously the documentary, and was able to see some footage of him actually playing, to see him playing.
For me, Ronnie Fields, I saw him play when he was a Farragut.
I mean, yeah, it's hard, but I'm gonna give you a 5
for NBA. So our 5 is Chicago-born guys who played in the NBA.
Okay, so let me do this. Let's do 2 separate 5s. Let's do we can do 2 separate 5.
Okay.
But we may have
A team and a B team.
Yeah. So let's go. If we can go with the NBA team.
Okay. All right.
Okay. So first, my NBA team. I'm just gonna give you 5 guys.
Just 5 guys.
I don't want to go by position.
I'm with you.
Too much.
I'm with you.
I'm going with Isaiah Thomas.
Okay.
And Derrick Rose.
Okay.
I'm going Mark Aguirre.
Wow.
I'm going myself.
Have to do that.
And my 5th one.
Ooh,
which is tough. This is a tough one for me. Had to really. This is a tough one. It's a tough one for me. I don't know if I want. I gotta go with Anthony Davis.
Anthony Davis is where we going. We going with the youngster.
I don't know if I wanted to put the youngster in there, but I'm going. That's my NBA.
D. Rose, Isaiah Thomas, Mark Aguirre, Anthony Davis, and yourself. Okay. Let me go on the NBA 5. I go Isaiah Thomas.
I like that. I
go D. Rose.
I like that.
I had to go Tim Hardaway. When we had, I don't know, I think we had Kiefer in here.
That's strong.
The Summer League, man, you and Tim used to be in the Summer League and just with the killer crossover. Like, come on, man. Tim had to be in my starting 5. I put you in there, hands down. You in there. And then I'm partial, man. Like, I played with Q. Q is my guy. McDonald's All-American.
But you're right.
What's up?
He
won a 3-point shootout.
He won the 3
He won a 3-point.
How many state titles?
I think they won a couple state titles for sure. And when he played with the Clippers and he had some good years with Phoenix, he won a 3-point shootout in the league. So he did some things in the league. So I'm partial. I'm biased, no doubt about it. No doubt about it. So I got Q, you, Tim Hardaway, Isaiah, and D. Rose. That's who I got.
See, it's tough to argue that. A lot of people don't know the history of Q. If you think about Chicago-born high school basketball, he has a better high school resume than me.
Okay.
When you think about winning, I'm just talking about winning. He won.
And stayed at home and went to DePaul too.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Right? He was like, I want to try.
Was vicious though.
Huh?
That whole class for DePaul was vicious.
Yeah, because they had Lance and McPherson.
They did a baby 5-5. Like
right.
Michigan.
But
probably had the big names.
he wanted to try to put Chicago college basketball on the map because he could have gone someplace else, hands down.
They made the move. They stayed. I always think about that. I thought about DePaul was very good when I was coming up and having to make decisions. DePaul was a very good team then when I was in the day. So he did make that. So a lot of people may not know Q history if you don't know Chicago basketball and how good he was in the city.
What?
But he's probably top 5 ever high school players in Chicago.
That's big time.
I mean, Derek won. Well, see, then you got to go to Jabari.
I think Jabari won like 4.
Yeah, Jabari won 4 state titles.
Sheesh.
You know what I mean? So there's so many guys. It's so hard to pick on how you're going to pick in that category. So I think it's what you said. You got to be like high school. Then you got to be pro. The ones that actually was successful, because obviously Jamie Brandon is probably the second best high school player ever in Illinois. And I mean,
Sonny Cox.
yeah, Jamie was
King
playing
high
since
school?
freshman year.
Man.
I was playing. That's when they was wearing the biker shorts.
Under the shorts. I remember that. I remember that. I remember
Y'all
that.
don't remember the biker
No,
shorts?
we do. Because MJ did that. No, I remember that. I
The
remember that.
biker shorts under there, baby. Yeah, you gotta remember that. When
I
the
remember
biker
that.
shorts was under there. Yeah.
All right, so the next top 5, you wanted to do just Chicago guys, period.
Yeah.
That's where you want to go.
Yeah, I'm gonna walk you down this list.
Please
It's
do.
gonna be the Chicago guys, and this is where your boy get on my list. I like Derek. We got to put Derek on there.
Okay.
Youngest guy to get the MVP. The way he came on the scene in the NBA, you got to put Derek on there. I think Derek won 2. Well, he won 2 state titles.
2 sounds
Or
right.
one or
I'll
two?
check it. 2 sounds right.
The state titles, you got to put Derek on there. Then I'm going with Tim Hardaway. I'm going with Tim.
Okay.
But I'm going with Tim because of Chicago guys. I think when you think of Chicago, I think you think of the crossover. Don't get me wrong, Isaiah Thomas is arguably one of the best point guards to ever play the game. You know, depending on where you want to rank him, definitely probably top 3 or 4. But Tim Hardaway and that killer crossover that was Chicago.
Yes, sir.
Now you got to put him in there. Then I got to go. It's tough, you know, but you got to give it to him. I mean, he's you know, you got to give it to a guy, Mark Aguirre. You got to give it to him. Mark Aguirre was unbelievable. #1 pick, 30 points a game in high school. He was a beast. So I went into the Chicago Hall of Fame in 2013 with Mark Aguirre. And when they got to reading off his accolades,
You were like, whoa.
I was like, whoa. I was like, he was doing all that back in the day. And then, you know, I gotta be biased and put myself in there. I'm strong now. I gotta put myself in there. And then the last guy I'm gonna put in there for Chicago, and he went to, you know, we didn't give him the snuff cut, but I gotta go D Wade. I know it was at Richards, but this man 3-time champion, NBA Finals. D Wade getting that all Chicago top 5 probably because of what he was able to do in the league. Arguably top 5 2 guard to ever play the game. So you got to put D Wade in there. So that's my Chicago 5.
So you got D Wade,
myself, Mark Aguirre, Tim Hardaway, Derrick Rose.
Wow. Hard to argue that.
That's my 5.
Real hard to argue
He's
that.
talking about Chicago guys.
Man. That's strong. That's strong. That's strong. I mean, did we just mention, I guess, Jamie Brandon? I think I mentioned Ronnie Fields. I don't think mention guys.
Michael, no, you can't forget, when you think about Chicago basketball, you do got to mention Ronnie Fields, Michael Herman,
Okay.
Jamie Brandon, Marcus Liberty, even though Marcus played a little bit in the league.
Yep.
Give me liberty or give me death. Ben Wilson, we talked about a little bit. Obviously, Ben Wilson. So those guys are honorable mention guys that we don't want to forget. Sean Dockery, Mari Stoudemire. I mean, Astoria. I'm messing up his name. Hope you don't get mad at me. Astoria. Yeah, so those guys, you know, are staples in Chicago basketball that you're going to always remember. And Jabari will be included in that too. A young Jabari. Jaleel Okafor, maybe.
He won at least one, maybe, maybe 2.
He was the #1 rated player in the nation, so you don't want to discredit that and holding it down for Chicago. So The history of Chicago basketball is strong. I think somebody need to do the real doc, man. We need to put our little free singles up, fellas. Put our little crumbs up and do a real nice little Chicago, a real documentary about Chicago basketball and let people know. And I know it's been probably some different type of documentaries put out about Chicago basketball, but we need to put together a real one. Clement, you know what I'm saying? We're looking for a good investment.
That's it right there. That's it right there. I'm looking at, they got Terry Cummings on this list too.
Yeah, but see, you got Terry Cummings. You start thinking about
He
Terry.
was a second overall
But see, you start
pick in
thinking about
82.
Terry Cummings. You start thinking about Ken Norman. I mean, we got Kendall Gill, Doc Rivers. You start to include them. That's why I'm saying we might need to think about that documentary about Chicago history basketball, maybe the real documentary, and the real understanding of how strong Chicago basketball was. I remember when in my prime of my career, we probably had 25 to 30 guys from Chicago in the league. That's a big number.
Hands down.
You know, and that was spearheaded myself, Juwan Howard, Michael Finley, Donnie Boyce, Tim Hardaway. I mean, the list goes on and on and on, man, when you think about that. And then you think about the guys that we don't never really, that got their snips. Think about Tony Allen.
Yeah.
The Patrick Beverleys.
Gennaro Pargo.
Jeremy Pargo. You know what I'm saying? Will
Bynum.
Yeah. I mean, our list strong. Sharon Collins.
Yeah.
I mean, our list goes deep, man, to Chicago basketball. We can really get into this thing. Paul McPherson.
True.
I mean, the list goes on.
Bobby Simmons.
You know
Friend
what I
of
mean?
the program.
Smooth. Yeah, that's my man Smooth. Yeah, so you got to think about it. We got so many guys from Chicago, man. We got to get that documentary done. It's been documentaries done.
Yeah.
But the way we bringing up these guys, when you can start from old to the middle age guys to the new age. The new age is not the same. You know, we're a little down right now. I mean, we got AD holding us down.
He represent.
Jabari, Derek is in the league. Jaleel, Tyler Eulis.
Okay.
Ahmad Shumpert.
Yep.
So we down. We're a little down right now. We ain't where we need to be.
Ready for the next wave.
Oh, we got the one kid too from Toronto Raptors. He's from here.
Oh, McKinney?
Yeah. Yeah, he's from here.
Is it Alonzo?
Alonzo McKinney.
I think he played with I think
Toronto,
he played with like Kiefer. I think he played because he was at the movie premiere. I went to the movie premiere with Kiefer, and I think
he's with the Raptors. Yeah, so we got some guys.
Alfonso McKinney. That's it.
Yeah, Alfonso. Yeah, McKinney. We got some guys, man. So that's tough. But I'm gonna post something on so I'm gonna post the thing that you saw on social media and see what kind of feedback.
A lot.
And we'll see that feedback that people wanna give us on that. And see what happens with that. But have some fun with that.
One thing I did see, some people were talking about Ben Simmons, of course, the Rookie of the Year, can't shoot the ball at all. 56% from the free throw line. Only took 11 threes this year. Didn't make a three at all. 0 for 11. There was a little buzz about him switching hands. Now he shoots his jumpers and his free throws with his left, but he actually throws baseballs with his right hand. He's kind of like, ambidextrous. And J.J. Redick has said, talk to him about switching hands to his right hand. Some people may know it. I'm sure you do know that Tristan Thompson did that. Tristan Thompson used to actually shoot with his left hand, like his first couple years in the league, and then switch to his right hand. Do you know anybody that's done that? Do you think that's something that Ben Simmons should look into? I think Ben Simmons replied with the crying emoji. I don't know if he's really into that, but if he doesn't shoot that well with his left hand, if you can do some things with the right, should he consider it?
That would be my last resort. What's wrong with getting in the gym and shooting 1,000 a day? I think one thing about shooting, and this is my personal opinion, I believe repetition, getting in the gym, practicing it, is one thing that you can obviously improve and get better at. And I think it's confidence. I think, in his head, when you have to read, especially now in this day and age, when social media is so strong, you got to read every day that you can't shoot, and everybody's saying that you can't shoot. It starts to stick in your head. So you got to get that out your head. I play with a guy named Bruce Bowen, Couldn't throw it in the ocean. Bruce Bowen got in the gym and worked every day till he was able to be able to knock down a corner three. Because he knew that was how he was going to be able to stay on the court. So I don't want to make an excuse and say, oh, you just switch hands. No, it's a confidence thing. And also shooting is being with a coach that believes in you, too. You know, you got to have coaches that believe in you. Because I'm pretty sure Ben Simmons is in practice and he's working out with a coach that's working him out every day. And it's got him shooting jump shots. And I'm pretty sure that Ben Simmons makes a lot of jump shots when he's working out. But it's up to the coach, the head coach, to give him that confidence that he can make that shot. He's going to have that ability. Jason Kidd.
He cannot shoot in the beginning.
He couldn't throw in the ocean either.
At all.
He worked his way to be a pretty good. Jason Kidd's in the top 3 or top.
He has some years we shot 40% from 3.
No, I think he's in 3-pointers made. He might be in the top.
All time?
All time. He might be in the top 5.
We can definitely check that out.
Yeah, I'm just saying, Jason Kidd. I look at Rajon Rondo. Can't throw in the ocean, but Rajon Rondo can make a 15-footer. He'll step up to the line and make a 15-footer. So I think we're making excuses for this guy. I think that's the last resort before I decide to switch hands and try to shoot another hand. I just think it's getting in the gym and get some confidence that you can make this shot. If you can make him in practice, you should be able to make him in the game. You know, I don't know, is it mental when you get in front of that 20,000? You know, I don't know if that's a problem, but he just got to get in the gym and work on his jump shot before he decides to switch hands.
3-point field goal attempts. I just lost to Jason Kidd. 6 all-time in 3-point field goal attempts. 3-point field goals.
This is a guy that can't shoot.
Right. 3-point field.
I don't know how good a shooter you can be.
Ninth all-time in 3-point field goals made. Ninth all-time.
Let me ask you a question. How good of a shooter can you be from the 3-point line if you only shoot 11? No, I'm serious. Like, y'all can break that down to me. I'm serious. If I only shoot 11 3-point shots, how I know if I can make it or not?
Well, you stick to your bread and butter, and you know your strength is going to the hole. He know he can't make it because he didn't make any of the 11. That's how he know he can't make it.
I went 0 for 11 in the game. I don't care about that. Yeah,
I'm sure you did.
That's nothing.
12
Come on, not now. You only give yourself 11 attempts.
Is it even important, though, for him to even shoot the ball? Because we look at him as like a playmaker. We look at him as a great distributor. We know he's going to rebound. So does he even really need to develop a jump shot?
I think in order for him to be successful come playoff time and to be a more consistent player, he's going to have to develop a 15 to 16-foot jump shot. Not necessarily have to go to the 3-point line. I'm not saying he has to be a 3-point shooter. But he has to get some type of mid-range game. Magic Johnson did it. I just talked about Jason Kidd did it. You know, you saw Rajon Rondo do it. You see the guys put the work in that's needed to develop their game so you don't become a liability on the offensive end. When you can go up under his pick and roll all the way into the middle of the lane, how many times is he going to get to the lane? Huh? It's not going to get that much. And we saw him struggle in games because of his inability to shoot. So he's going to have to get better. It's going to be needed. That doesn't mean he's going to be a bust. Obviously, he's.
Oh no, far from.
I mean, he's the rookie of the year.
Far from.
He's going to be a great player, but he'll always be limited to how good he really could be if he does not put the work in and get the confidence to shoot the ball. Ben Simmons, if you listen to me, the only way you can make shots and know if you can shoot, you got to shoot more than 11 threes. Just shoot more than 11. Give yourself a chance. You know, Houston Rockets over there shooting 42, 43 threes a game. You shoot 11 for the season. So you got to give yourself a chance. And free throws is all about confidence. You know that. I wasn't a great free throw shooter in my career. It's all about confidence. That can get in your head. You can change it up. But just find your routine that you like. Stay with it. If you have a bad night with that routine, you come back to the same routine. Don't bail on your routine. And once you do that, usually you become a better free throw shooter. We've seen LeBron James kind of struggle over the years from the free throw line, but he's always changing things. I remember when he played with Miami with Ray Allen, and Ray Allen is one of the best free throw shooters of all time. And you know, they showed footage of them working out together, him shooting free throw. No, you can't do what Ray Allen do. Get your routine, right. Get your routine and stay with it. So those are some of the things, you know, as players we got to think about when we playing. But Ben Simmons, get in the gym, shoot you some extra shots, shoot you 1,000 a day, be confident that you're going to make some, and put more attempts up. You can't be a good shooter shooting only 11 threes. You can't be. I don't care what they say, care what coach says, You cannot be a good shooter only shooting the ball 11 times.
He's staying with his strength. He know that's not his strength, so he's staying with his
How
strength.
you know it's your strength? 11 shots. 11 shots does not let me know if it's a strength.
Scared money don't make no.
The crazy part about him, we're basing off because he don't shoot it. That's why we say he can't shoot.
I mean, but you've seen, I'm sure you've seen
It's not like
Ben
he's
Simmons' jump shot, though. His jump shot is not the prettiest jump shot. His follow-through and his technique is not the greatest technique. I'm sure it's a reason why he doesn't shoot it, because he's not good shooting it.
I'm not saying, listen, but you know this, Clement. You got to give yourself a chance. 11 shots is not giving yourself a chance. Come on now. Now, when I'm assuming he's shooting 500 to 1,000 jump shots a day.
Yeah.
I'm just assuming that's on the minimum side.
It's his first year, so maybe his
Yeah.
first year, once again, around the rim, he got the little baby hook that we've seen.
But just like I know the question that you posed was that should he switch hands? I think he should wait before he switch hands.
Okay, yeah, that's kind of drastic.
2-3 years in, where I ain't figured this thing out.
Maybe.
I'm still going 0 for 11.
Yeah.
I can't do no worse. Let me try to switch hands. I'm gonna wait a while before I do it.
You know any guys that ever switch hands though?
No.
No.
I mean, we saw Tristan Thompson do it, but no, I can't. Off the top of my head, I can't think of anybody right now that I know that switched hands.
I saw a poll on the internet, and it was asking about the best signature move of all time. We know Kareem has the iconic skyhook. Of course, MJ with the patented fadeaway. Dirk kind of with the one-leg fadeaway. Mm-hmm. We had the Dream with the Dream Shake. So when you think about guys with the go-to move, a lot of times we always talk about LeBron doesn't have a go-to move. When we think about some of the guys who had the best go-to or iconic move, any of the four that I mentioned, or is there another one? What's the best signature move of all time?
That's a tough one. Probably got to start off with Kareem.
Okay.
I mean, the skyhook was unstoppable. That's the one move that kind of sticks out to you. MJ, the fadeaway.
You can't go wrong with that, right?
Yeah, the fadeaway was strong.
Because Kobe copied that off MJ, right?
Yeah, but I think Kobe had I'm not saying Michael didn't, but Kobe had a variety of moves that he would go to. But Michael, the fadeaway from either block was unbelievable. And I would say the Dream Shake. The Dream Shake is up there too. Elijah Wan's Dream Shake was one of the special go-to moves. And then I would probably have to say, it's hard to say if these are go-to moves, but like signature moves that kind of took the NBA by storm. We talked about it earlier when we talked about Chicago. Tim Hardaway's crossover. I thought was huge.
Yeah, because I think Iverson went ahead and, I won't say copied him, but...
Well, no, Iverson brought over the hesitation more.
Okay.
Iverson had the hesitation. If you always saw he carried.
No doubt. He will hold it. Yeah.
He palmed that thing. He'll take a picture. He'll put it up, take a picture, then put it on back down. I would have to say, Iverson and Tim Hardaway moves were signature moves. But everybody else. But now LeBron doesn't have a signature move.
Nah, I can't think of it.
No.
I can't think of it at all.
And they always try to tell you to get you a go-to move, too. That's like one of the veterans. The veterans would always say, always get you a go-to move. So I would say, I would have to say those are the top moves. But you got to get Kareem, my dude. You got to get Kareem. The jump hook is the stop. I mean, Kareem got 38,000, something like that.
All-time leading scorer in the NBA.
Yeah.
And then even Magic, once again, Magic tried to have a variation with the baby hook. Anytime somebody tries to copy or use a variation or do what you did, to me that shows how signature, how iconic,
right.
how nice it was. Like, I got to try to do that.
When they try to mimic, you had your game. Yeah, I get it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right, so when I had all the kids head faking, like right now, I should really be mad. Because I got everybody shimmying right now. So I'm just saying.
You do.
So my move counts in there too.
But that was your celebration though.
But I got everybody shimmying. Everybody when they make a big three, everybody wants to shimmy now. So you got to give me some credit for that.
No
But
doubt.
I don't like the fact that you don't want to give me no credit.
Oh, no, you the man on that. Like,
Yeah,
folks
yeah.
mimic that. Folks mimic that.
And they not even shimmying right. You got to have variations of shimmies. And
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, you got to have an and one shimmy. You got to have a game winner shimmy. You got to have a big shot comeback shimmy. You know what I mean? You got to have. I have variations of it.
What was the variation?
Because you can't shimmy if you down like 8. It's tough to shimmy when you down 8. So you might just have to hit them with the one shoulder down 8. You know what I'm saying? So
Is that right?
Yeah, like these guys different. Then you got to have a game winner shimmy.
Okay.
The game winning shimmy is a walkout. You walk it out.
Like you just let them have it
Yeah,
for
you walk
a
it
few
out.
steps.
Oh, walk it out for about 6 seconds. 6 seconds is a nice long time. Walk it out.
Let folks know how it went down.
Yeah, so I mean, you know, these guys out here stealing my shimmy. I don't say nothing. I give it away for free.
No doubt.
Should have copyrighted that thing, man.
No need to be upset about it.
Yeah, so I take that back. So you got my move,
what
Kareem move.
Hardaway crossover.
Yeah,
MJ fadeaway.
Yeah, I'm up there. I had to put myself up there now with them. Yeah.
Other small bits of nuggets and information. You played with UD in Miami, of course.
Yeah, yeah.
And he's pretty close to getting an agreement to stay with the Heat for his 16th season.
Mm-hmm.
You surprised that UD still in the league? Not that he will be out of the league, but man, 16 years in the league, bro. That's a long time.
Not surprised because he keeps himself in great shape. He's one of those workaholics, workout guys. The surprising part to me is that UD's not very skilled. You know, when you see guys stay 16 years in the league, they usually have a certain type of skill set, whether they're a defensive guy that blocks shots, whether they're a guy that has a great 15-foot mid-range game. But I think for UD's situation, I think Pat Riley loves him to death. He's from Miami. He's from the inner city of Miami. I think he does a terrific job in the community. Well, I know he does a terrific job in the community. I think they keep UD around. He controls the locker room. I think he keeps the young guys in order. If you notice, he hasn't been getting any playing time. I don't know how many games he appeared in last year.
14.
14 games.
Yep.
So you got to imagine 14 plus playoffs. So he's not a guy they're bringing in to actually play. He's a guy that they're going to have in the locker room to help keep things in order, keep the young guys balanced. The Heat is a very young team now. And he's one of the heart and souls of the Miami Heat's organization. He'll probably go in the rafters.
Oh, hands down.
He'll go in the rafters. I put him on the same lines of Alonzo Mourning. Mourning, a lot of people don't notice, has been very impactful in the community. And what he's been able to do in Miami and in the city has been tremendous. You need to look that up. I know we're looking at LeBron James' story, so a lot of guys are now starting to see that the athletes really do give back. Now that stuff is starting to come out. But look at what Alonzo Mourning has done in the Miami community. You'll be surprised and shocked in what he's done there. I've been to a lot of those events where he's raised money for kids in that Miami community. So I think UD being from there, he does what they need off the court to balance that team out. So that's why the only surprising part is that he can't really help you on the court. But the other things that he brings to that team is second to none.
Yeah, he is the Miami Heat's all-time leader in offensive, defensive, and total rebounds. Mm-hmm. And he's an undrafted guy. You know,
Yep,
played in Florida and didn't even get drafted.
He was a guy that was overweight when he came out. The Heat gave him a chance, Pat Riley. He started that wave of Pat Riley gets you in the best shape of your life.
Okay.
Type of thing. He probably lost 50, 60, 70 pounds when he got to Miami, got up under Pat Riley. And he's a workout nut. He's been tremendous for them.
Still to come on the Southside Heat, we have cosign or decline. Don't move, Southside Heat. We'll be right back.
Yeah.
Hey, what's happening, bro?
What's happening, man? Pause, bro. Hey.
What's up, boss? I still got your t-shirt.
They good quality. Shimmy up there.
Right, he had to put himself in there. Low key, you don't get no credit for the shimmy though, but you was the first one doing it.
You got Cleveland,
Today,
you got the shimmy over the sky hook.
Yeah.
That got to be the caption. Antoine Walker put shimmy over skyhook. Clickbait.
Shimmy over the sky hook and Cleveland women suck.
That's definitely social media.
Make sure you put it in red right to make it blink.
I ain't got no work in out there, so you
Hey,
good.
Cleveland. You ain't messing up nothing out there. Yeah, look out now. Hold on.
Yeah, nice shoes you got on, buddy.
You're going now.
We probably stretch to like whole time decline, man. If we get to 350, 355. 130 right now. I wouldn't even well, I got some random. I got some real random that we can stretch for a couple minutes. I wasn't even trying to get the UD and the signature stuff. But we how much longer we on that song? You said not much longer? We come back after that.
Sure.
I mean, when the content is out, the content is out.
I'm saying I'm playing another song.
Yeah, I was gonna do that. I don't want to get out before 3:55. Have you heard? Ooh, excuse me. You ain't heard the Bruce Bowen story, have you? Did he got fired?
What's that?
Have you heard the story? That Bruce Bowen got fired?
I heard he got fired, but I didn't know why.
Yeah. No, go out joint.
But
I ain't listened to the interview, but I was
he said it.
Auxiliary piece.
on the interview with Dan Patrick. I ain't listened to the part that was
Two,
headline.
the quarter-inch adapter going to
They
the
said
regular MIDI for the aux cord going into that.
Yeah.
And then the iPhone adapter going into that. It's just an
Because
aux
that's
cord in two pieces.
because at one point one of the girls had this the iRig that basically was one piece. Went in from there.
Going from what? There?
I guess
We go from the middle? That's because the quarter inch is already in there. So it's just, it should be pieced.
Because we got the because we did the iRig. This one
Because what piece your iPad takes? For audio. You take this piece?
your iPad to work with. So we did.
Oh.
Yeah. So this was a piece of.
That's a mini. That's a mini.
Oh yeah.
Still, all you need is an aux cord.
Okay. So we were using this one for just the.
That's what you're doing.
Yeah.
What you talking about from the audio from here to there? Yeah. All you need is an aux cord. That should work. I thought you took this piece because I know all the new joints you gotta take the.
No man, that's the first version.
Hey man, don't be trying to act cheap over here. You hopping off G4s and everything.
That wasn't me though.
Nah, man.
Hey man, I just happened to be getting
We talked about D-Wade. You think about that? No, yeah, right?
You don't happen to get in.
And I wasn't actually
Huh? What? Why?
Yeah, you just.
Yeah, that's what they said. That's what they said.
Hop up on your G4.
So, because this little piece here,
Oh, man.
but, yeah, so we just went right to the iPad.
Yeah.
Right there.
Yeah, for that. You got the mini piece, the converter, and you can adjust the volume on it. All right, you ready?
Southside Heat still rolling along. Make sure you follow us on Twitter. Walker Antoine 8 on Twitter. Clement TV _. And if you listen to us on iTunes, be sure to leave us a review, leave us a 5-star rating, and leave us a review as well. Also, subscribe, Spotify, Stitcher, Google Play, wherever you listen to podcasts, you can pretty much find us. We're dropping those new episodes every single week. It is the summer, Antoine, so just random things catch my attention. This is one of those things that just jumped off the page. Not even really sports related, but I mean, it was so out there, I just had to see what you had to say. DJ Khaled, we all know him. Major Keys. He was doing a shoe appearance, I believe it was, and his son was there, 2-year-old son, and his son had a rollie. 2-year-old son had a $34,000 Rolex on his wrist. I know you've spoken at length about your watch fetish, how, you know, back in the day you used to have multiple watches, but what is your take on a child, a 2-year-old, having a crazy expensive watch like that?
I think it's crazy. I didn't see that, but no, I think it's crazy. I mean, it can't be a 2-year-old with a rollie on.
34 grand on a 2-year-old. Tell him he want to give his son the best of the best, finer things.
Well, I didn't see this. So he got it. They took the links out so it could fit the baby's hand.
You saw it, Rob?
Yeah, I know exactly. But you know how much that 2-year-old was worth? He was the executive producer on DJ Khaled's last album.
The 2-year-old?
Yeah. The new one that just
You
dropped.
talk about generational wealth. He made his son his executive producer on the triple platinum album he just had last year.
That's smart. Put a little money up for him. Put a little money up for him. I don't mind that. But the watching. You know, I like Khaled. I mean, listen, man.
He's
look,
in music too.
DJ Khaled is like the Kardashians.
He could write that.
Oh, word.
DJ Khaled's like the Kardashians, man. You wonder how it happened.
Another one.
Yeah, you like, how did it happen? And
He make beats and grind and work hard, right?
I mean, he make beats. I don't know how
hard
he
DJ
works.
Khaled work hard. The boy.
He does his thing.
His bounce back game was strong.
Yeah, he does his thing with social media. You got to give him a lot of credit.
Snapchat.
Yeah.
I think he was doing his thing on Snapchat.
And he's been able to make himself out. I mean, I'm surprised. He does like shows.
Yeah.
Like he does a show.
Yeah.
And he don't rap or sing.
No. DJs in Vegas too.
Yeah, he just hosts. He just hype. You know, he does the hype part.
Yeah.
But I mean, I like DJ Khaled music, so. You know, he would rock. You know, I'm down with Jay-Z, man. I'm down with the Rockefeller movement. I'm down with Rock Nation. Yeah. Yeah, he don't do that. His son don't even know what that is. His son don't care what that is. That's when you acting like you got too much money. now Khaled, you got that much money. You're a little bored. Maybe Khaled's a little bored. He got too much money.
Diamond Rolex, 34 grand.
Yeah.
Khaled said everything is for my son. Is what I work hard for.
I mean, Diddy used to do the same thing for his kids.
I'm cool with giving your kids the best of the best. I understand that. You want them to have the finer things in life. You want to work hard for them. But I do feel like they should know what that stuff is. You don't know how to tell time at 2 years old. So why do you need a $34,000 watch when you can't tell time?
There you go. There you go.
What's that?
Kick in now. Okay, I was wondering. I thought you was making it sound like it was cool to have.
Oh, you waiting for me? No, I just wanted to get your experience. I mean, get your take on it and get your opinion on it. But that's just way out in left field. I know you got dough, 000 owed up. You know what I mean? Your bank account on swole and all that. But still, it's your money, so you can do what you want. We got that. We understand that. However, it's many more positive things you can be doing with your money. And I don't know what DJ Khaled does for charity, but still, with so many problems out here and so many people struggling, man, I just feel like you could, even though it's yours, you could spend 34 grand on something better than that. And I also think it sent the wrong message too, because people follow DJ Khaled. I won't say he's seen as a role model, but he is an influencer.
Yeah, but that's why he stopped and was like, oh, I do everything for my son. He tried to justify it. That's why he's trying to defend himself, and that's his justification that he's doing everything for his son. I mean, it's crazy. He know ain't no rhyme or reason for that. He know that. I mean, he's 2 years old.
Maybe he just wanted to do it. Maybe it was something
Oh,
he
you
was
bored.
feeling good about
Look.
himself. Like, you know what? I
You
can
know
buy
what?
my 2-year-old
This is what happened.
a $35,000 watch, so I'm going to do it.
He's getting 6 figures in appearance. He's in a great space right now, and he got money to burn. That's all it is.
Yeah.
Because where you go for a 2-year-old? Where you go after that? It's not. And the 2-year-old.
Once I had the $34,000
You gotta
rolling.
understand his circle, though. Y'all seen the My
But
Sweet 16.
so what you gonna-
They
so what
spending
you-
millions of dollars on kids' birthday parties and
True.
all of that. It's a part of the
He's
scene he
too-
got to keep up with.
Nah, that's different. The 16-year-old birthday party, and to at least the 16-year-old know what's going on. A 2. So what you gonna do? Continue?
And check this out. Check this out. Excuse me. Check this. He's 22 months old, so he's not even 2 yet. He doesn't turn 2 until October.
Wow.
So actually, he's 1 if you want to get technical. So we talking about a 1-year-old. Come on, DJ. What the hell is wrong with you, boss?
You sound
DJ
real
Khaled.
good mad right now.
DJ Khaled.
That's unnecessary.
Pocket watching.
That's just unnecessary.
You got a wife.
That's
You got
unnecessary.
family. You got, I don't know if you got brothers and sisters, cousins, nephews. There's so much you could have did with that 34. You could have put that 34 up and let it accumulate. That too. You could have put a little thing, and I'm pretty sure you got all that stuff covered. But come on, stop it, bro. Don't.
A 22-month-old.
Yeah.
A 22
I was
month old.
really big mad at DJ Khaled.
Yeah, just stop.
It's
Just stop it. Just stop it. Come on. Now.
priorities, man. Just priorities, man. And
Whose priorities though? If he already got it, and he not worried about it, whose priorities are we talking about? His or yours?
Well, why is he justifying?
Who said he was just? He just said, I'm doing it for my son. That's what I was saying. Like, if he come out and he buy his son a $30,000 watch, that's what he want to do. Like Bobby Brown said, that's his prerogative. He got it.
Well,
He
that's-
got it. Only people that get mad about it is the people that can't do it.
No, that's not
How
true.
many people on his tax bracket really came out and was like, man, I'm mad at that.
They're not gonna come out, but I'm pretty sure they got something to say privately. You know, everybody like DJ Khaled. It's not nothing you can create. You can't tell nobody what to do with their money.
can't do it. Can't do it. Can't do it. I just, and this is a whole nother show. I just feel like
You should, man.
I won't even say it, man.
Log
I
on
won't
to
even
his
say it.
Facebook and look at
All
Clement's face.
I would
You
say
gotta watch
is-
Clement's face.
All
though.
I would say
It's the
is,
Southside Heat. You gotta
Right,
say
you
it.
gotta say it.
I'm
You can't
sure,
stray away.
I know Warren Buffett got more money than DJ Khaled.
Yeah, he do.
And I'm sure Buffett not buying himself a $34,000
Warren
watch.
Buffett lives in the same house he grew up
No
in
doubt.
and eats McDonald's.
No
every day.
doubt.
That's
Absolutely.
a whole nother level.
And his
of-
car, is he not flossing out
frugality.
with the car and everything like that?
Yeah.
So when we go to priorities, I just feel like,
But whose priorities?
I hear you.
It's all relevant.
It's his priorities. I just don't agree with them. Let's just put it like that. I'll
There
just
we
leave it
go.
at that.
That's what I'm saying.
I just don't
I see
agree
you
with
big
them.
mad. Your nostrils is flaring. You like, I don't
It's
agree.
unnecessary. It's unnecessary.
DJ Khaled.
Major key.
Cosign the decline. What's up? You ready? You ready? I think we done harped on DJ Khaled. I thought that would be a conversation piece right there. I didn't even.
I really can't even comment on it, to be honest with you. I mean, it's such a ridiculous statement.
I ain't even realized the shorty wasn't even 2 just yet. He doesn't even
That
turn
did make
2.
it worse though. He was like, he ain't even all the way.
He's
2
22
yet.
months. He still got a couple of more months until he turned 2.
Well,
That's
maybe-
crazy.
hopefully he kept the links. He can add one each year or something.
That's
You
what I
know?
said. You're going to have one each year.
You all know the deal. Time for cosign or decline. I make a statement. If you agree, Antoine, you cosigning. If you disagree, you declining. Dwight Howard, when he was announced for the Wizards, said he wanted to play basketball for several more years. He could see himself playing until he's 40. If D. Howard plays until he's 40, that means he would have played 22 years in the league. You know he came out of high school, started at the age of 19. Cosign or decline, Dwight Howard will be able to play ball in the NBA until he's 40.
I co-sign.
Wow.
I co-sign for this reason. He's just in great shape. When you look at his, and you know, it's a big pause, but you know he's got a great body.
He's in good shape. We got you. He's in good shape.
You said yeah. The season that he had last year, to be able to come back off his back injuries that he's had, and to play 81 games, make me feel like that he's 110% healthy now, and because he keeps himself in great shape, he'll be able to come in right away. He'll be able to play long, and that won't be far-fetched. The only thing that can stop him from playing long is that his game does not really translate to the game of today's players.
Right.
He hasn't extended his range where he can step out and shoot 15, 16-footers. He's still not a great free throw shooter, even though he's improved. So that could be the only thing his game does not translate, can actually lack. See, this is the thing, like when you look at Dirk and Vince Carter, they actually still can score.
Hands down.
I mean, obviously, can they get you 25 and 30? Nah, probably not. But they're going to get you a solid 15. They can have a moment. They can have one of those hero moments, 6 or 7 times throughout the season where they get you 25 or 30. So I don't know if Dwight Howard can do that. Can he still, 20 years in the league, block shots at a high level, rebound at a high level? That's the only thing that he will, that's his best attribute, to be able to rebound and block shots. But I don't know if those centers are going to be used. So shape-wise, health-wise, it looked like he'll be able to play 22 years. But skill-wise, probably not.
He had like a 30-30 game last year, right? Like, what, didn't he have a game?
Oh, he should have been All-Star last year.
Yeah.
No question. I mean, he had a monster year last year. That's why you always debate if Dwight Howard's going to be a Hall of Fame or not, because he has these type of years.
Against Brooklyn, 32 points, 30 rebounds.
Yeah, so
and even now, he's lost a lot of weight. Like you said, he worked with a different trainer. He said, when he first came into the league, he was banging with guys like Mourning and Shaq, and it was about, being diesel and being muscle. But now the game is more fast-paced, and he got to slim down, so he's made that adjustment. And to your credit, to what you said, Antoine, that's why he played better last year.
Right.
I don't know, man. It's just so rare. You talked about Vince. You talked about Dirk. They in their 21st season. To play 22, to go from high school and play the game till you 40, that just seemed a little bit far-fetched. I
mean, it's going to be different for him. And Dwight Howard's always made great money. He's always been on good deals.
Yeah.
Those deals will probably stop after this year.
Oh, hands down. And here's the thing.
I don't know if he's going to, is he going to play for $2.5 million, $3 million a year? Does he love the game that much to do that? That's always a question mark. Because you look at Dirk, and Dirk hasn't made big money in these last 3 years. He's shown that he just loves the game. I mean, Vince Carter got a handsome payday last year. He made $8 million last year, and this year he came back for the league
about 2, right? Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know if Dwight Howard wants to play for those type of numbers, because he's always played, outside his rookie deal, he's always played for big money. So that'll be another thing to be interesting too about guys. Because now the love of the game clause come in. And we'll see how much you love the game then.
When those checks are not the same.
Yeah, when the paychecks are totally different, let's see how much you love the game then.
And I wonder, too, though, how many teams will really be interested in Dwight. We talking about...
That's what I'm saying, right. It's not going to be that many teams.
Right, but not even for the money, for me, the off-court or the locker room. Because I still don't think Dwight is a great teammate, and I think this year will be a proving ground. Like, he had some issues in Houston, had some issues in L.A. I don't know if guys really like him in Charlotte.
I think his approach to the game bothers a lot of guys. Dwight Howard's a big kid. He's a big-name guy, but he's not that big-name guy that can carry. I think in L.A., I don't think Kobe, disliked him, but Kobe didn't like his approach to the game. Kobe's about winning. Kobe played with Shaquille O'Neal. He knows how good a dominant center could be. Dwight Howard probably is a guy who plays video games. One reason why Nate Robinson's not in the league. A lot of people don't know that. Nate Robinson's approach to the game got spread throughout the locker room. He's a jokester. He's a kid. He plays around all the time. He does produce off the bench for his size, but people don't like those guys around their
Kind
team.
of like a Gilbert Arenas type thing.
Yeah, I mean, it's just one of those situations that you look at Tyler Eulis. He gets in an altercation with Devin Booker. They didn't have no reason to release Tyler Eulis, but they removed him because they don't want him around their best player. And you can get in those situations. I think Dwight Howard has to get to that point where he approaches the game serious. John Wall and Bradley Beal are trying to get over a hump in Washington. And if he doesn't come with the right mindset where it's about winning, he'll have problems in that locker room, Clement.
Yeah.
Because those guys are coming in, they've been bounced around the last couple of years. They haven't reached their full potential. You know, Bradley's been hurt at times. John Wall has been hurt at times. You go into a team, they want to get over that hump. That ownership group in Washington wants to get over that hump. They're going to blow it up. So you got to think about it. Dwight Howard has to come in with the right mindset.
Do you think this far along in his career, maybe a thirst for a ring is starting to set in on him, and he might change his approach a little bit? Because, I mean, putting up the numbers he did last year.
He's been on 8 different teams. It's kind of hard if he's really chasing the ring. Like Clement, I'm more on the Clement side with this thing. He's not necessarily the best locker room guy. It's not really his production. He hasn't never really had a bad year. You know what you're going to get out of Dwight Howard. When you're getting 16 and 13 and he's still shooting close to 60% from the field, and you're getting great numbers from him. I think it's what he does in the locker room, his approach to the game, and whether or not he wants to win a championship or not. I don't think that's big on this list. And I think, you know, it's a lot of guys. We all wonder why Kyrie Irving wanted to leave LeBron James. He got him one. He might be content with winning the one. Now he wants to go chase his own individual legacy. And that's something that, as a fan, and you know, as a fan, especially myself, that's very competitive and love the game for what it is, you want to win. But I understand when you get these younger guys a different way. Everybody's not about winning championships. That's going to be, on even another subject, that's going to be LeBron James's biggest hurdle. We know LeBron James is about winning championships. We know he wants to get to the finals. Is Ball, Ingram, Kuzma, are they mindset there yet right now? I'm pretty sure all 3 of those guys are looking for that big payday. That's probably what they're more concerned with. But can LeBron get them focused into a championship level? That's going to be a big task for him coming in to get those guys on the same page. When I played in Miami, it was easy. I was looking for a ring. I was 9 years in.
Gary Payton.
Gary Payton was looking for one. Jay Will was looking for one. Posey, Alonzo Mourning.
Yeah.
You know, everybody was hungry.
Yeah.
We knew that we would get into the finals. We knew that. We didn't particularly have a dominant season. I mean, we won 52, 53 games, but we didn't necessarily have a dominant season. But we knew in the playoffs, we were playoff ready and playoff built. And we knew that everybody was on the same page. We had a slogan called 15 strong. I mean, that's the only team in my 13-year NBA career that I've been on where you would go to dinner and see 6 or 7 guys at dinner together. That's unheard of in the NBA. Because when you get on the road, guys got their own thing going. They once you get off that bus, they disperse until it's time to meet in the morning. But on this team, we kicked it. We hung together, went to dinner together. We was a together group, and the whole focus was to win a title. That's all we cared about. The coach, everybody, we did whatever it took to win the title. We kind of, you know, messed around a little bit during the season, but once the playoff came, we took care of business. And that's the same thing, with Dwight Howard. Has to come in with the right focus if he wants to be the player that we know he can be, and if he wants to play 22 years. Because Clement, like you said, his skills may not allow him to be 22 years in the league.
Right.
So he's going to have to do other things to show he can be a team guy, and he has yet to do that. He wouldn't be in 8 different uniforms if that was the case.
We keep it moving. Cosigner decline. Zach LaVine will make his first All-Star team this year.
Decline. No, I think, honestly, I believe on that team. I think Jabari Parker, and I'm not being biased because I'm from Chicago, but I believe Jabari Parker is going to be the guy that averages. They both can average, 20 points a game, but I think that the offense is going to come through Jabari.
Okay.
I think he's going to be the main offensive guy on that team. I think his skill set is there. We saw flashes when he was averaging 20 points a game. 20 points a game in Milwaukee before he tore his ACL the second time. So we saw those flashes. So I like Jabari there. I think Zach LaVine. I'm a big Zach guy. I know you're not necessarily too big on Clement, but I'm a Zach guy. I believe he's going to be a very good player. I don't believe he's going to be an all-star. I think that's going to be Jabari's team. I think Zach is going to be 1B. Jabari is going to be 1A.
Yeah, I'm not mad at Zach LaVine. I just felt like the Bulls didn't necessarily have to match the offer that the Kings gave him. Whatever it was, what was it? 4 years, $72 million, or whatever it was. 4 years, 78 million.
That was more about Jimmy Butler.
Yeah, I understand the trade.
And you don't want to sit back in a couple years and be like,
man, what do we get for him?
What do we get for him?
Yeah, I understand that. But I think Zach will be effective. We know he can score. Definitely need to improve on the defensive end. I still think he probably need to, just as a guard, be able to distribute the basketball a little bit more and get other guys involved. But no. And just be more consistent as a shooter, per se. But I think Zach LaVine is good. Will he make an all-star team this year? I wouldn't go that far either. But I do. I've said this before, and I don't think you agree. But I do feel like the Bulls should be competing for a playoff spot. I think they should be in the mix, in the hunt for that 7th or 8th seed in the Eastern Conference, straight up.
I disagree with you on that.
I'm
not saying they should not want to win. Don't get me wrong. I'm not going to take it that far. But if I don't make the playoffs, I'm not upset. The reason why is I'm going to have cap space. It's going to be more. It's going to be better free agents next year to add. You can add to this team. So now you get a year with Jabari. You get Zach. You get those guys playing together. Wendell Carter Jr. seems like he's going to be a good pick. So now you got marketing.
Lowry.
So now you got some pieces in play. Now you got some free agents who, if I'm the Bulls, I want to be right there in the hunt, and then I want to throw some cash at somebody. It's going to be a lot of good players out there, and I'm trying to go after the best. I'm trying to go after Kawhi. I'm trying to go after Klay Thompson. I'm trying to go after the best to add to this young team that I got, and hopefully, other guys around the league look around and see who's doing really, really well. And so there'll be some players out there. You have some money, so and if you're able to add another draft pick, another lottery pick with that. Woo, the Bulls going to be in some really, really good shape.
I'm rooting for it. We'll see how it all shakes out. Speaking of Chicago, final cosigner decline. Anthony Davis will win a scoring title in his career. I was thinking about going this year because actually he was second in scoring last year behind Harden, averaged 28 a game. And then 2 years ago, he was fourth in scoring. So Anthony Davis will win a scoring title, I'll say, in his career.
No.
Wow.
I do not believe he'll win a scoring title in his career. The reason why I do not believe that, I don't think New Orleans will do the right thing and put the right personnel around him. They had an opportunity to keep Boogie Cousins, and they could have gave him a max deal. I'm pretty sure if you offer Boogie Cousins a max deal, which they should have, he would have been in the New Orleans uniform. They were unable to keep Rajon Rondo, who made a huge difference for them, who's the reason why Anthony Davis was the second leading scorer in the NBA this year, a big part of that. If you don't put pieces around a guy like that, and if you don't have shooting around him, he's going to get double teamed. It's going to be harder and harder for him night in and night out to score the basketball if he doesn't have another guy on the team that can go get buckets at a high level. So I don't think a scoring title's in the mix. To take it even a step further, I believe Anthony Davis gets to his last year's contract. He acts out, and he's going to go to a bigger city. And I believe it's kind of the Kevin Garnett situation.
Don't do that. You're going to hurt the folks in New Orleans feelings, bro. He just going to ride out on the Big Easy.
Yeah, it's going to be one of those things where New Orleans, the fan base is going to understand. Like when Kevin left, they understood. And Anthony Davis is going to get a chance to go play for a title somewhere.
Wow.
He'll go to a bigger city. He'll have the same situation that happened like Kevin Garnett.
It's been all those years in Minnesota.
Yep.
Kevin Garnett did, take them to the Western Conference Finals.
2004.
Yeah.
I actually watched they had one of those games on the Hardwood Classic.
Okay.
That was a good team.
Yeah. Sam Cassell was on that team?
Sam Cassell at point, Latrell Sprewell, Wally Zerbiak, Michael Olukandi, Kevin Garnett was the starting five.
No, that was
They lost to Kobe Bryant, Karl Malone, Shaquille O'Neal, and Gary Payton.
That was the Western Conference Finals.
Yeah, I just watched the other day. It ain't like I'm that knowledgeable off the top of my head, but I just watched the other day, so yeah.
No scoring title for AD.
No scoring title.
I would co-sign this one, bro. I can see it happening. I can see him averaging 30, man. I can see him just getting loose one year, just tearing up, because he has had stretches, and we talked about it before. I think it might have been like a February or something like that, where he just had stretches, where he just went off. So if he can just stay healthy and carry the team on his shoulders, yeah, I can see him winning the scoring title. Make sure you check us out every single week. Subscribe, iTunes, Stitcher, Google Play. You know where to find us. Thanks for being with us on the Southside Heat.
Everybody coming in hard. Where Q Rich at?
Oh, for real? Oh, you put it on there? You got to. He got to be on that list. NBC. Yeah, NBC.
Carmen Fisher said, who made that shitty ass list?
You put that on your NBC. They tripped out on that joint.
Yeah.
They tripped out on that joint. Straight up. They tripped out on that.
Look at that. Where the hell is Q Rich? We need Q Rich on there. Everybody comments.
One person said, that's what everybody said.
Well, who is Tony Robbins? He a motivational speaker?
One of them cats to get you hype on that.
Huh?
So one of them cats to get you hype. Like
What type of motivational speaker?
Just, you know,
Like just a guy to come in and motivate you
That's it. That's it.
about life?
Yeah. Work hard, achieve your goals, execute, get up in the morning, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Get it moving, get after it. Et cetera, et cetera, et cetera.